party is gathered. You are ready, or so you hope.
Do you know what happens when a devil is struck down on this charming plane of existence? It returns to the hells, to the very point where it last stood before venturing to whichever devil-forsaken plane it died on. In the case of our friend Yrgir, the Orthon you so handily dispatched in the Temple of Shar, he manifested in my House of Hope. He returned to me chastened but intact. His wounds healed, his body restored. He thought I would dismember him. But he has his uses, so instead, I am re-educating him.
We delivered the devil. Now I want what I'm owed. We had a deal.
Indeed we did. I discovered all there is to know about those scars of yours. It's a rather grim tale. Even for my tastes. As you wish. Brace yourself, Astarion. We're about to unveil your destiny. Carved into that ivory skin of yours is one part of an infernal contract between the archdevil Mephistopheles and your former master, Cazador Za. In full, the contract states that Cazador will be granted knowledge of an infernal ritual so vile it has never been performed. The rite of profane ascension. It promises to be a marvelous ceremony, very elaborate, incredibly ancient, and entirely diabolical. If he completes the rite, he will become a new kind of being, the Vampire Ascendant. All the strengths of his vampiric form will be amplified, and alongside them he will enjoy the luxuries of the living. The arousals and appetites of man will return to him. And unlike Astarion, he will have no need of a parasite to protect him from the sun. But the ritual has its price, as all worthwhile things do. Lord Cazador will need to sacrifice a number of souls, including all of his vampiric spawn, if he is to ascend. Imagine how he felt then, when one of those precious spawns simply disappeared into thin air. The only missing ingredient is Astarion. You are the final piece he requires to complete the ritual. Your scars bind you to it. Your soul will set off a very wave of death, bringing Cazador his twisted life. And that, my tragic and toothsome friend, is that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have business elsewhere.
I was contemplating. It's a lot to take in. What do you think I should do? hate how right you are. I knew he wouldn't leave me alone, even when I was just another wretched toy for him to play with. But if I'm the key to this power he craves, he'll hunt me to the ends of Faerun. I need to take the fight to him, and I need you to help me. Thank you.
I can't imagine how Astarion must be feeling. The terms of your own condemnation carved into your skin. Monsters' actions. And monsters do not deserve such power as that ritual promised. When the time comes, Astarion will have his revenge, I'm sure. And it will be richly deserved. But not yet. So, what can I do for you?
What can I do for you, my friend?
Wish I could say I was surprised about Cazador's pact. Where blood, death, and betrayal parade, you can bet your ass a devil is riding Grand Marshal. We're going to keep Astarion safe. On my life, Cazador won't touch him.
Thy wheel of... Dost thou require a new...
I guess I can take care of myself. I mean, I've gotten this far.
It seems like Cazador used Astarion's flesh not as a canvas, but as a contract. We haven't heard the last of this, I'll wager.
Fine. What's on your mind?
Quite splendid considering all we've been through. I think I was very lucky. Very serious of you. But go ahead. Well, I'd be lying if I said I hadn't been dwelling on becoming a Dark Justiciar. Perhaps seeing the power of Shar unleashed on that land is keeping the thought in my mind. But don't worry. We still have plenty of room for you in both mind and heart.
Our very own vampire's the missing pawn in his master's deadly game. Now, how about we go and reverse Cazador's fortunes?
Oakfather preserve you.
Full-fledged vampires are not so easily slain. Astarion's master will be no exception. Fortunate for him, slaying monstrous fanatics is a pastime of ours.
Wits and blades, always sharp.
still alive. So that's progress.
What can I do for you, my friend? Before anything else, I need to know where it's happening. To the public, Cazador is an ordinary noble. A little reclusive, perhaps, but just another of the great and the good of Baldur's Gate. He has a grand palace on the hills of the gate, where he hosts the city's high society. I don't know if he performed the ritual there. It feels too public. He'd risk exposure. I know. Subtle, isn't it? Mephistopheles is one of the Lords of the Nine Hells. Raphael is not going to let any ire be tracked back to him. Perhaps Raphael even will gain from setting us on this course, who can say? All I know is I need to unravel the secrets around Cazador's ritual. And I can only do that in Baldur's Gate. Hello, my dear. Oh, darling, I'm hurt. It sounds...
Oakfather preserve you. Then you'll have me.
We're close. I can feel it. The Absolute. Its power is strong here.
That's far enough.
His thoughts invade your own, probing for purchase. Your parasite purrs in recognition.
My apologies. Welcome back, true soul. What news?
General Ketheric's advisor went off on a field trip. Zarel's in charge till he gets back.
You'll find Zarel in the audience chamber, true soul. She'll be wanting to hear from you.
Praise the Absolute.
It's risky to enter Moonrise with an unwelcome companion. You can pass as a true soul, but they cannot. Be sure to keep them close, so you can speak on their behalf if the cultists ask too many questions.
Oakfather preserve you. Wherever you need me, I'll be right here.
What can I do for you, my... Lead on.
They swoop and steal. Wish to serve her.
Barely alive by most standards. And still it bows to the Absolute.
There can be no doubt. This is the place. This is where we'll discover the secret of the Absolute.
The Absolute calls us.
Another true soul. The disciple will want to see you through the main doors.
Can't hear a damn thing in there.
Well, Flo didn't tell a lie. She said you'd find me, and here you are. Cullagh, isn't it?
Now there's a name I'd hope never to hear again. What was Flo doing here?
Didn't think to quiz her about her business.
Florenta the Garotta. A Cambion I knew back in Avernus. She was the closest thing I had to a friend. That said, she would have choked the life out of me if I ever turned my back on her. The fact that she knows where I am, where I might be going, doesn't exactly delight me. Maybe. Probably. I don't know. She's a half-devil. Impossible to read. I wouldn't have given her the time of day, but even I needed a laugh once in a while. What can I say? The bitch had good jokes.
Enough chatter. Your friend gave me 3 soul coins, said I could sell them if I wanted. But if I kept them for you, she'd consider it a favor owed.
Soul coins, huh? This could come in handy.
Sure. But she did have a condition. For every coin you take, you've got to hear the story of the soul trapped inside.
There you have it. Flo came all this way just to try to make me feel like shit. Clever use of her time. Memorized a bunch of sad stories on her behalf, did you?
Didn't need to. Your Flo did some devil woo-woo and stuck 'em in my head. Couldn't forget now if I wanted to. Do you want the coins or not? First coin's got the soul of a woman named Maveri. She was born to a cruel mother, and a violent father, and 3 evil brothers, all named Baldur. She never knew a day of love in all her life. When she was a girl of 15, she sold her soul to Tiamat in exchange for someone who would love her unconditionally. She got what she asked for. A fellow named Clint, destined to be her soulmate. Struck by a cart and died a few moments after clapping eyes on our Maveri. Poor guy. The scud of her soul is yours now.
Thanks, I guess.
We're just getting started. This one has got the soul of a man named Frakes. Lived in a village near Neverwinter. Hit hard by the worst hunger in 1,000 years. Frakes called out for help. Prayed for his children to have meat to eat. Zariel answered. Made old Frakes grow flesh upon flesh after flesh. His wee ones had all the meat they could stomach.
He should have known. Better to die 1,000 deaths than let Zariel into your life.
Cullagh's the one set to consume his soul, I hear. Last one's got the soul of a little boy named Ongir. 8 years old. He liked playing in the sun with his friends. That's all I know.
That's all?
That's all. Oh, and this slip of scratch.
Well, thanks, Flo. Hearing a bunch of desperate horror has ruined my day, which I suppose was the point.
You got 3 soul coins out of the bargain, didn't you? I'd quit whinging if I were you. I did my part. That means our business is done. Unless you've got actual gold to hand. Better hope you can handle what I've got.
You're one of her blessed, aren't you? To hear her voice, I cannot imagine.
The Absolute herself called us here. They cannot stop us from seeing Zarel now.
To stand this close to her power.
Each pack of recruits they bring in is worse than the last. Can't trust them to sweep the stables, let alone swing a sword. Not for me to say. All I know is they're bloody useless round here. Yeah. They're deadweight. Not real believers like us. Thank you, true soul. In her name.
My brothers had the dreams too. Same as me. They wouldn't admit it.
The Absolute calls us all to head his...
Back of the line. I'll be the first of us to swear to the General.
Right, pilgrims. You'll be scouting the perimeter of the war camp, looking for enemies.
But the shadows? It's death out there without a guide.
The shadows won't harm you, so long as you know your place in the Absolute's design.
Of course. Of course.
A new face come to bask in the light of the Absolute. How can I be of service, true soul? Blessed by association, let's say. I come to pay proper respect to a new power. I bow, but the Zentarim prefer to look their business partners in the eye. Joaquin's clipped coins, no. Faith is an over-flooded market. Transport, however. These faithful folk need some goods moved into the city. Our ships are obliging. Quietly. Oh, true soul! I couldn't burden your spirit with such material concerns. But I'm always happy to trade. An honor.
And this was funny when it was just goblins branding arses, but you lot mean business, eh?
It's Roa you want. We only talk when you've misbehaved.
Don't mind Meg and her meat sounds. It's just her brain slopping around in her skull.
Shh. Meat sounds above. Here.
For a moment, you do hear it. Flesh sliding on stone, like a living being extending through the walls.
Big! In walls above! Maybe whole tower. Loudest near kitchen. But Mig banned. Not allowed to pet nose. You find meat? You share.
Yours is a face I shred in my dreams. One who kicked the steel claw as if I was some stray. I am a champion hunter. When I lick my pelt, I taste blood. Fortunately for you, the slithering vermin I hunt has my attention. For now. The Deathwalker passed through here before. I know your scent. All was silent before you, but I dared to snarl. You skulked like you owned the place, trespassing on my domain. I will split and burst their every skin. I braved lapping waters and leaking ships to find this prey. I butchered many, and will butcher many more. But this one I toy with. I slice, I tear, and when the time is right, I will bite its head off and bathe in its innards! Lies, it merely pretends. But I'm a patient hunter. I will wait for it to stir, and then I will strike. Now I must return to my prey. It has been too long since it felt the bite of fear.
Cycles around, ain't shy about handing out pain.
bunch of the others were rounded up in the main hall a while ago. They ain't come back.
Something slimy seems to be dripping from the rafters above.
Interesting.
A moment, true soul. You use a spoon to stir the soup, Barnabas. Forget the axe, my darling. Now, how can I help you? I've shown Barnabas a kinder way. A kinder name is only fitting. That is the gift the Absolute gave me when I stood before her. To rewrite the lives of her faithful. Make them believe there's something better. I have. It is one thing to hear her voice. Quite another to feel the power she can grant. Observe. Barnabas, sweetie, come show what a good boy you are. What would you like him to do? Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you, Barnabas?
You feel her will surge outwards and envelop the creature, inexorable as the tide.
No, Barnabas! We talked about this.
Like a rope drawn taut beneath the blade, the connection simply snaps.
No, Barnabas, darling. No!
There's an illithid parasite in that.
All trace of restraint is gone. Barnabas has tasted blood, and wants more. To your surprise, instead of ravishing you, he grovels with a howl of pining awe.
Lord! Many die.
To the conclusion.
We did as we was told, General. Followed every order.
The facts suggest otherwise. You were ordered to retrieve the artifact. You failed to do so.
Us? No, it was Minthara. She got the orders. She...
Enough!
A blast of mental energy washes over you, filling the room. Your tadpole squirms, urging you to obey.
You failed to retrieve the artifact. You failed to protect your true soul. You do not deserve to live.
Mercy, General! Please!
General Thorm?
Let our newest arrival speak. You have seen what these creatures are capable of, and you have seen their inadequacies, isn't that so? What is your judgment?
You know I'm loyal! Tell him!
Enough! True Soul, tell the General how the goblins served our cause.
See? What'd I tell ya? Praise the Absolute!
Faith without action is anemic, sickly, in a word, useless. We are too close to the ending and the new beginning. I can coddle failure no longer. Kill them, quickly.
What? No!
You creaking old bag of shit!
I'm so sorry, my lord. She's an unbeliever outside my control.
Try again. Dispose of the rest as you see fit. Or better yet, let us take advantage of our surprising guest and their particular creative genius. I'm sure the results will send a clear message to the troops on the importance of discipline.
Of course, my lord. Thank you. You heard the General. The goblins are yours. Deal with them however you wish. They are yours. You can release them, kill them, or feed them to each other for all I care. Just deal with them. Here in the seat of the Absolute's power, your authority over them is complete. They will obey any command. Report to me upstairs when you're done.
Please! You gotta help me! For old time's sake! Oh, praise the Absolute! And praise her true soul!
You did the right thing. I'm sure those nasties deserved a bollocking, but we're no executioners. Let's go see what Zarel makes of it.
In another lifetime, you were greeted in this throne room like a god, not the living wreck you are now. Your disgrace has something to do with this Ketheric. You yearn to flay him until he forgets himself, as you have. With difficulty, you banish the pooling evil that bewitches your quivering limbs. Perhaps parts of you were scattered in this spire. Time to knit yourself together.
The seat of the Absolute's power, occupied by a general that cannot be killed. But his followers are flesh and blood. We must learn...